Hello, everyone, and welcome to our video podcast. It's your weekly dose of coffee, dogs, and curiosities, your alternative CDC. I'm your host, Chris Perondi, the stunt dog guy. Today, we're going to have our special guest on our podcast, our local veterinarian, Dr. Julie Hilbert, who studied at Ross University and the University of Florida. She graduated back in 2013 and has been practicing ever since. She's amazing, and you guys are going to love her. But first, I have a fun video to show you of our dogs, and then we're going to discuss today's curiosity, which happens to be, is dental health important for dogs? And if so, how important really is it? And are there things we can do to keep our dogs clean? And what steps and preventative measures do you take? Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Stunt Dog Show Productions and like us on Facebook to stay informed about our future podcasts, live shows, travel adventures, and, of course, training tips. Also, please share this podcast on your social media after it's finished and help us grow our viewership. And, of course, if you're watching right now, please leave me a comment. Let us know you're here and what you're up to today and maybe even where you're watching from. Now, today's actually been a very, very busy day. It's got to be a very busy day for me. In fact, I'm going to be hosting a Frisbee trick throwing class. I'll be offering it at our Stunt Dog Academy here in French Camp. I'm going to be showing some folks how to throw the Frisbee 8 to a dozen different ways. Of course, it comes with a collector disc. This is one of our old school Extreme Canine Stunt Dog Show discs. I even have a Golden Bone Showdown disc. If you like to get one of our collector discs, send me a private message. I might be able to make that happen. But we're going to be doing that Frisbee class here at 3 o'clock, just about an hour. We're getting ready basically next weekend. It's Frisbee competitions happening in Lodi, California at the All Sports Dog Facility. My good friend Steve Tier will be hosting that. So if you're into Frisbee dogging or even dock diving, you might want to check that event out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out there jumping our dogs in the dock diving event called Jackpot Jumpers. And, of course, we'll be competing in the Frisbee competition as well. Now, if you aren't local and you'd like to learn how to throw the Frisbee 8 different ways and more, you can purchase our flying disc training video on our website. Just go to stuntdogshow.com. I want to put up that link right now down at the bottom. You can see it there. And you can go and check out our video on how to train your dog to do some Frisbee stuff. It's really cool. Teach your dog catch flying discs, 6 fun tricks to enhance your disc dog routine, 8 advanced throws to challenge your dog, and multiple disc exercises, working on the drop command. And I even go over how to teach your dog to do a vault and backstall as well. So it's a fun video I put together a few years ago. So check it out if you haven't already. Now, we've had plans to each week feature one of our dogs and do a fun video, but we've had just so much on our plate recently that we just haven't had time this past week. The weather hasn't been very cooperative either, which has been very frustrating. It's been extremely windy here, 20, 30 mile an hour wind, so it's been even tough to get out there and throw Frisbees around safely to the dogs. But what we did put together recently was a video that features all of our dogs just hanging out in the house, in the yard, just to get a chance to see the day in the life of our dog. So I thought it'd be a fun way to introduce all of you to our furry pack. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen right now and let you guys take a look. This is our dogs just hanging out in the backyard and in the house. And as the video goes along, I'm going to introduce you to the dogs. So right here, we got Crazy Confetti. That's Crazy Confetti. And there's Mozzie. We got Split, Shadow, and Split again. That's Flashy for our old girl. She's going to be 14. And that's Hollywood and Coda. Of course, we got Vinny Valentino. There they are, just all hanging out in the yard, doing their business, enjoying the sunshine. And here we're coming up to Spitfire Spinelli right there in the back. Crazy Confetti trying to get the limelight. There's Spinelli. There's Tex right there on the left. And here they are getting ready to go in the house. This is what it looks like when they go inside. It's a doggone adventure, I'll tell you that, guys. Here they go. Wait, we're missing someone? Oh, take your time, Chappie. Take your time, buddy. Oh, there's Leo. Chappie, but things smell good out there. There they are, just hanging out in the house. That's Mozzie, our puppy there. And look how big he is already at 9 months old. Into the bedroom, chewing on their favorite bones. Chappie loves that spot. That's his sunshine spot. That's right. And Coda, king of the bed. Mozzie getting a little drink with our bowl that is anti-spill, which is nice. We got a lot of slobberers on our pack. Sue put this video together. She did a fantastic job. A lot of fun. There's Vinny hanging out in the office. We do have some baby gates up in the house. That's Flashy Ferrari. And sometimes they find ways to get past those gates. That was Dare. We had to, unfortunately, rehome him. He was getting a little aggressive with some of the other dogs, especially the little ones. So he's in a great home now, though, and we do miss him. He was a little escape artist. Now, you guys got to tell me, if you were to steal one of our dogs, which one would you take home with you? I'm curious as to which pup of ours is going to get the most love in the comment section today. Yeah, we're lucky to get on the bed ourselves half the time. They always take over. And that's a wrap, guys. Thanks so much for watching our video. Well, not a wrap for the whole podcast, just a wrap for that video. But that gives you an idea of our life with our dogs at home and gives you a chance to meet all 13. Of course, I got little Leo in the lap. He's got some bling today, so I put a really fancy collar on him. Looking good, my friend. Looking good. Yes, what a good boy. Of course, I'm drinking some coffee as we're doing the podcast. I love this coffee mug. I featured it once before. It's the Ember. Sue got it for me for my birthday, and I tell you, I use this cup more than any other cup. It keeps the coffee hot, so it's got a device where you can charge it. It doesn't use batteries, so you can just charge it, and then it keeps your coffee warm. If you're like me and you take time drinking your coffee, it works perfect. So now, guys, we have a special guest with us today. I'm very excited to introduce you to my hometown veterinarian. I'd like to welcome Dr. Julie Hilbert to the podcast. Hi, Julie. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm thrilled to have you as a guest on our podcast. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And who do you have with you today?
This is one of our little rescue dogs. This is Porshka.
Aw, Porshka's so cute. How old is Porshka?
She's about 14 or so. We've had her about 2 years, and she's just fit right in with the pack here too. So she's a good little girl.
I love it. So you work with animals all day, every day. Do you have animals at home too, or are you one of those that just like, no, but I only can have one dog or cat, or what do you have at home?
We do. We have quite the little zoo here as well. I thought that I wouldn't be that type of vet that would take them home and collect them, but I guess it happened. So we have 5 dogs, 5 cats, and a little parakeet named Gimpy.
Oh, awesome. Stephanie is actually watching right now. She says, hi, Julie.
Hi, Steph.
Yeah. So we're going to get a chance to get to know you just a little bit. I just wanted to ask you a few questions before we get to today's curiosity. Besides how many pets you have, what made you decide to be a vet? Have you always wanted to be one?
Yeah, I guess so. So when I finished, or you could say graduated from kindergarten, my dad took me to the shelter, the SPCA, and I picked out this little orange and white kitten, and we named him Toasted Marshmallow. And he was just kind of the beginning, and I enjoyed like going with my dad to take him to the vet. we had a really great vet back then. His name was Dr. Marshall, and he was really positive, let me listen with the stethoscope and stuff like that. And so ever since then, I always wanted to be a vet and kind of just pursued that through school and everything. So it was meant to be. I don't know what else I would have done. So
that's so awesome. Well, and it's awesome that somebody took the time to inspire you. Do you do the same? Have you spent some time with like some inspiring veterinarians?
I have. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Through vet school and my internship, there's been, you can think back and there's key people that really spark that in you and feel that urge to go out and help the animals, help the people, and just kind of put more good out in the world. Definitely.
That's so awesome. I love that. That's great. That's wonderful. So how many years of schooling did you have to go through to become a vet? I mean, what's kind of the process for those that might be watching that don't really know?
Definitely. So when you graduate high school, you go to college, even you could start at a community college, you could just go right to a 4-year, but typically 4 years of undergrad to kind of get your bachelor's degree. Doesn't necessarily have to be in animal science. That's what I did, but you gotta finish some of the prereqs to get into vet school. So 4 years of undergrad, and then typically about 4 years of vet school as well is kind of what it takes. And then after that, things become optional. You can go out and start practicing, or if you want to specialize, you can do more. You can do an internship and a residency in a certain specialty. It's getting more and more kind of similar to human medicine in that regard with the specialists out there, but there's a lot to be said for, just good general practitioners like me that kind of do it all.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you answering that, and that's great. I'm getting some questions here already, and if you guys that are watching have any questions for Julia, feel free to post them on the comments channel right now, and we might try to get to them, or get to as many as we can. Do vets treat their own pets? I'm sure you do, right?
We do. Yeah, I try to as much as I can. Sometimes it's convenient. I can bring home medicines or just listen to them at home if somebody's coughing. So that works out well. But every once in a while, like back around Christmas, one of our cats had a liver tumor, and I just really wasn't comfortable doing the surgery. She's my cat that I've had the longest. And
right. So you're kind of too attached, right?
Yeah. So my boss did the surgery for me. So it helps to kind of have those connections as well, but mostly we treat our own. Right.
I know. Right. And give your own shots and kind of, that's the perks of being a veterinarian, right?
They don't really like going into especially the cats. They don't like coming into the office with me.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I know. Cats probably are harder than dogs, I would imagine, right?
Definitely.
Everything, right? Because they don't want to be messed with.
Right. They just want to lay at home.
Oh, sure. I imagine. What would you say the hardest thing about being a vet is, like the most challenging part of your job?
The hardest part is really talking about the money, sure. I don't want to make it about the money. The people don't want to make it about the money, but unfortunately in this day and age, where insurance is not that common or that mainstream for our veterinary patients, it comes down to that sometimes. And so that's the hard part. And sometimes people get frustrated but I try to work with them. And I think vets across the country try to work with you, come up with a plan. We're not trying to rob the bank, but we're trying to give everybody the best care. So there's always a lot of compromise that can happen, So I think that's the hardest part. And also just trying to get everybody to understand the value, why does it cost so much? Why is this so much? Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but I think it takes a little bit of time to explain all of that, but that's the hardest part. And then sometimes people just don't have the money, and it's not by any fault of their own, but the pet is sick. And so that's hard. But.
Yeah. Because some things can be really costly depending on the situation. For example, the situation we just had with Coda, having to have his stomach
Only a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, all the junk in it had to be removed, and and it's not just the procedure, it's the anesthesia and other things that go into it that, and you got to have that because obviously, you want
to
have a safe procedure. You don't want to just go in there blind. You want to, and you don't want them in pain either. So, Mariko just asked, well, how about your funniest and happiest moments working as a vet?
So some of the happiest moments are like, I'll know a family for a long time, and we watch their dog get old and manage the arthritis. Eventually it's time, to say goodbye. But then some of the happiest moments are when they get a new puppy and everybody is so excited with this new little baby. So that's some of the happiest moments, is when they've had time to grieve the old one, but now they're ready to move on. Some of the funniest are just the accidents that happen, and I won't gross you guys out, but you can imagine there's some stuff that happens on a daily basis, and we're like, come on, it's only 8 a.m.
I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask a question kind of on the same scale, or kind of a tie-in, but what's the most rewarding thing about doing what you do?
Well, really, when you can, I guess 2 things, when you can strengthen or lengthen that bond between the pet and the owner, they come in and their dog is sick or old or something like that, and then there's a lot of ways that you can help with that, and you can just, whether it's pain meds, whether it's whatever, to kind of just strengthen that bond.
Sure.
And all of that stuff. But mostly. And really the best times are when that pet comes in really sick, whether it's kidneys or liver or some kind of toxin, and you can help fix them, and it takes some time, but when you send them out that door to their family, then that's the best moment right there.
Right. That's awesome. Well, I bet it can be very rewarding many times, hopefully more times than not, because, I know it's a tough job, and the hardest part is seeing them have to, go, unfortunately. And I know those are the hardest times, when owning a pet is, and those moments got to be, they can probably wear on you after a while, I would imagine.
They do. And you might have been there as well.
Yeah. Sure.
And it's not why anybody goes into this, to be able to help with that, but it is an important thing. We don't want to suffer, but to be able to relieve that, and for the family to be with them if they want to. And it's taxing, but it's also, generally it's the right thing,
Right.
The family's ready, the dog's ready, but
you help them make that decision, help them, through that process. It's not just, there's a lot that goes into it with the comforting, and I appreciate what you guys have done for us with our dogs in the past very much. So thank you. It's a tough time, but you guys do handle it well there. Better than any vet I've been to. So been to, I just feel like you're just going through the motions. I didn't feel like that. What's that?
Shout out to my team at Lathrop. Yeah,
absolutely. Because sometimes you feel like you're going through the motions, but I didn't feel that. I feel like if you could somehow make that a unique experience, even though it's a sad time, but a unique, where you feel special and you feel that you guys care just as much, because at the end of the day, people love their animals, and they want that comfort. They don't want to feel like you're just going through the motions. All right, here's the actors, here's I didn't feel that way. So I definitely recommend you guys wholeheartedly. So.
A lot of pride in that. I mean, it's an important thing. You want everybody to feel listened to and ready, but yeah. Again,
for those of you that are just tuning in, you're watching a live interview here with Dr. Julie Hilbert from our Lathrop Veterinarian Center in Lathrop, California. We're so honored to have her here today, and we're going to get to the curiosity here in just a second. But one last thing I want to ask you, Julie, before we do that, besides doing veterinarian care, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do outside of it? As I know, you probably do put in a lot of hours working there. I'd imagine it's not just normal 8 to 5. But when you have some time or to go on vacation, what do you like to do on your off time?
Yeah, I like to spend a lot of time outside. Since we moved about 2 years ago, I'm trying to kind of make my garden happen, my succulent garden. So I work on that. And this year I planted some sunflowers. So that's kind of cool watching those bloom this summer.
Oh, that's cool.
We also have a jet ski. So right now it's in the shop, but we like to do that sometimes on the weekends during the summer and go out on the Delta or the lakes around here. So and then we don't have a lot of family in the area, so we try to travel when we can, go see them or go little vacations and stuff like that. But
great. Gotta do that stuff. Life's too short not to,
Don't
get burned out, definitely. I know like any job you can start to wear on you. So don't let it do that. Well, let's get to today's curiosity. I'm excited to talk to you about this topic. It's something that we're very conscientious about just with what we do with our dogs. But the curiosity today is dental health important for dogs? And if so, how important is it? What do you guys think that are watching right now? What kind of steps have you taken to keep your dog's teeth clean and their breath smelling good? I did find an article. I wanted to, while people are responding now, I want to just kind of throw that up on the screen. Let me see if I can grab that, that I found online on, WebMD. Let's see if I can bring that up here. There we go. So here we have it. 10 tips for better dental health in dogs. So it's a great article. If you guys look it up, you'll be able to find it at pets.webmd.com. First off, you can do the breath test. Sniff your dog's breath to see if it's normal doggy breath or what's it smell like. I'm sure we do this on a daily basis, especially if you have a licker in the house. If is their breath especially offensive, it says, accompanied by loss of appetite, vomiting, or excessive drinking, urinating, it's a good idea to take your pooch to the vet. Would you agree with that, Julie?
Definitely. Yeah, we'll touch on that. But there's a lot that you can pick up on at home too. Yeah.
Right. And lip service once a week with your dog facing you. Lift his lips and examine his gums and teeth. The gums should be pink, not red or white. And they should show no signs of swelling. The teeth should be clean without any brownish tartar. So check that on your dogs. Signs of oral disease. The following are the signs the dogs might have a problem in their mouth or gastrointestinal system and should be checked by a veterinarian. Bad breath, excessive drooling, inflamed gums, tumors in the gums, cysts under their tongue, loose teeth. Check for that, guys. Check for that today. The lowdown on teeth decay. I'm going to just kind of skip that because we might talk about that here. And then, of course, toothbrushing kit. Do you brush your dog's teeth? I think I'm going to leave it at that. And you guys can read the rest of the article. There's 10 different things there. But let's talk with Julie here and see what she has to say about dental health. What should we be looking for, Julie? And when should we be concerned?
Definitely. So there's two big reasons why. I mean, everybody knows dental health's important, right? Like we go to the dentist and people, it's just a regular thing. But really in dogs, two big things I want you to think about. One is just their overall comfort. So a lot of times people don't realize if their dog is in pain or has a little bit of discomfort because a lot of it is so gradual and it happens over time. The dog just kind of deals with it. But when there's a lot of redness or a lot of tartar in there, it probably is at least a little bit of, discomfort and maybe even just flat out pain. So sometimes people don't know that because the dog's still eating pretty good, acting pretty good. But then when we clean their teeth and when we get maybe some of those bad teeth out of there, I've heard it numerous times where the people are like, oh my God, she's like a puppy again, running around, eating great, playing, and they didn't realize how much their mouth was really hurting. So think about that, and it really does affect them more than they let on. Dogs they don't show that they hurt a lot. So the other big thing is just their overall health. And so not only are we focused on how the teeth feel, how the teeth look, but all of those years of tartar and bacteria and gunk can affect their internal organs as well. So all that bacteria can get in the bloodstream, can go down and affect the heart or affect the liver.
Right.
And then in years and years of gunk go by, and that can be pretty hard on them. So those are the two biggest reasons to kind of think about this and to focus on it for your dogs. And there's a lot of things you can do at home. And I mean, I would love it if everybody brushed their dog's teeth on a daily basis, but it's not always realistic. And I don't brush my dog's teeth on a daily basis either.
Yeah, and try doing it for 13 dogs.
right, or 5. So,
or even 5, right?
Yeah. So I mean, there's things, and you guys have probably already do a lot of these at home, but
like bones. Yeah, we do the like deer antlers. I had another one. I don't know. One of the dogs stole it off the table. I had some props to show, but I've lost a couple of those props already. But yeah, they're always chewing on bones. I like a hard plastic one that doesn't like chip off. That's what I do. I don't know if you recommend. No, these. Sue just handed me this, but these ones are kind of rubbery. I don't know if that really helps their teeth so much. Even it helps their jaws. It keeps them busy and kind of out of mischief. But I don't know if that really helps plaque. I think you need like something a little harder. I had
some of it might help scrub some of it off, but what like the viewers can even do at home if your dog will let you brush their teeth. You know, not all dogs will, but you can even just get a little bit of dog toothpaste, put it on your finger, and rub it a little bit on their teeth. So every little bit helps, and that toothpaste
like
will help.
You can use regular toothpaste, like human toothpaste? No. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I wanted to ask you too. Like, I don't think it's healthy or safe to use that toothpaste for dogs. You got to use something formulated for your dog if you're
formulated so that they can swallow it. You know,
so they have like kits, and you can put it on your finger. And I couldn't find. I was looking for it. I haven't used it in a while. Our dog's teeth actually stay pretty good with the bones and the chewing. We've also been using this. I don't know. Have you heard of this or seen it, or have you? Powder, and we've been giving it to our dogs for probably a year now, and we have seen a big difference. Obviously, I've still had to take Spinelli and get her teeth clean. Some of the older dogs, but it's a good preventive. It's just a little scoop, and you just kind of scoop it and just spread it onto their food. You know, so it works. It works pretty good. I mean, I don't think it gets rid of the plaque. If your dog has plaque, it's not going to remove the plaque. You're still going to need to go to the vet, and you're still going to need to get your dog's teeth cleaned professionally, or start brushing your dog's teeth. But once it gets really caked on, even brushing, would you agree, isn't going to take it off? You're going to need some kind of a tool like one of these bad boys that you probably use. I have one. I've had it, but I tried to use it on my dogs. They do not want me to mess with their gums. It's like they start pulling back. I'll try to, but I know that you guys use something like this, but a lot of times you have to sedate the dog in order to, or like a light sedation, right? It's not like a full on.
Well, it depends. So there are different places, different trains of thought out there. So with a light sedation, you can do a lot. You can clean their teeth from what you can see. Sometimes you can get off those big chunks of tartar, but truly
with your fingernail. Like, have you noticed, like, and I've found that this stuff has helped like loosen the plaque, if anything. And I was able the other day, actually, I was Ferrari, my oldest, my 13-and-a-half-year-old. I would put my finger in her mouth, and I saw the tartar in the back. It's always the back teeth, the very back. And I was like, and I scraped off a big old piece, Yeah, I mean, I don't know, obviously.
The other thing I like and easy to do at home are these Oravet chews. So, I like them. I only promote them because I know they work, but they are different from some of your other like greenies and dentist picks out there because they have a little enzyme on the inside that helps kind of stick to the teeth and coat the teeth for about 24 hours or sometimes longer. So they have that lasting protection that can kind of build that up over time and can help prevent that buildup of tartar and can help minimize some of that gunk in their mouth. So the Oravet chews are good. If most dogs like them. I have had a couple that won't eat them. So, or there's those, like our bulldog, he just kind of chomps them in 2 bites and well, I don't know if that's working, but So they're not for everybody.
Yeah.
Those I like. And then there's also this stuff that you can.
Here, let me put you on the big screen here. Here, you can show them both on the big screen. I should have done that. Yeah.
Let me put Portia down.
So what is that there?
So,
There you go. I know everything's backwards.
So this,
dental chews. Okay.
yeah, and then this one is
Drinking water. Oh.
Flavorless. It's odorless, so it's not going to deter them from drinking. But you put this in their water, and it helps kind of change the pH of the mouth, and it helps break down some of that tartar that's there. I mean, it's not a miracle worker,
Right.
It's still going to have to get its teeth cleaned at some point, but it can slow it down. And yeah,
Right.
so those two things are the biggest ones that I but
yeah, we'll have to check them out. Definitely try them out too. I mean, we're always trying to find good supplements, to help the dogs. Obviously we love these guys. We want them to live forever, and obviously we don't want them having dentures or anything like that.
Right. Everybody wants to keep as many teeth as they can. So.
I know, right? Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on our podcast today, Dr. Julie Hilbert. To everyone from Lathrop Veterinarian Center, right out here in California. You guys are about 5 minutes from my house. But we've been, I don't know, how many years has it been now since we've been with Lathrop? Probably like 9, since we've been out here, 10 years probably now. We've been on this. Yeah, so we've been coming to you guys for a long time. And you've been there. How long have you been there?
I've been there. Actually, yesterday was my 4-year anniversary.
4-year. Okay.
Yeah.
Time flies. I kind of feel like you've been there longer. I don't know. I don't know, but that's awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. I hope that gave some people some good insight on healthy teeth for their dogs and proper dental care and some preventatives and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. Our next podcast will be at 2:00 Pacific on Thursday. We might be restructuring our podcast for some of those of you that are watching. We're looking to make some changes. So we might not be going live twice a week. We might be just going once a week. We might be having to restructure some things. We have Abby's unfortunately wasn't able to join us today due to having to get a dog training job out in Florida. So her schedule's changing. Brian and Kara will be live with us on Thursday. We'll find out what their schedule's like there at the Indianapolis Zoo, because they start up supposedly on Friday. The zoo's going to be opening and they're going to be doing shows on a daily basis. So if you live out in Indianapolis, you have to check out the All-Star Dog Challenge and check us out there. And we'll look forward to talking to you guys again on Thursday. We'll have some more announcements to make then. Again, you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you all next time on Coffee, Dogs, and Curiosities. Thank you, everybody. Bye now.